Hey, what's good, y'all? Happy Friday. Welcome to my channel. I am PrissySolo, and if it's your first time here, again, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, shout out to the realest. I appreciate you, family, for coming back. And on this lovely Friday, it's a little late for some of y'all, but I'm glad that if you are watching this on a playback because you didn't catch it live, and if you are here with me live, that's even better because we can get into it as we're going to get into it. All right. Now, judging based off the title that y'all see already what the topic is, we are discussing Tasha K's interview that she did tonight. It's crazy because I knew that I was going to come fuck with y'all today. I knew I was gonna go live. I knew I was gonna make some content today, and I actually had written out my topics for the day. So if after we talk about the interview, if we somehow get through everything and we have time, then I would like to go over some of the topics that I have written out for today's stream. But if not, we're gonna go ahead and run it back tomorrow. We'll cover all the topics tomorrow if we don't get through any or some of them today. I mean, any or all of them today. Ooh, excuse me, girl. So, anyways, so I am going to put a little disclaimer out there. If we have anyone who is sensitive to, talking about sexual assault, maybe this is not the video for you. Just a trigger warning. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are going to be discussing that. Unfortunately, this is a interview with Tasha K that she did with hold on, let me get the multi-stream, make sure I'm getting my comments from YouTube as well, in case any of my family pop in over there. So anyways, because we are live on both tonight. So anyways, sensitive topics that we were going to be discussing. Tasha K interviewed an attorney that is defending three Trey Songz victims and two Chris Brown victims, and her name is Ariel. Did I get her last name? Let me see if I wrote down Ariel Mitchell. Okay. So if you did not get to watch the interview, I got you. I wrote down key points and whatnot that I want to discuss and what I want to talk about based off of the interview. Now, granted, Ariel is an attorney, so she has other cases and other clients, but they were targeting, not even targeting, I don't like that word because that makes it seem as if like you're coming after somebody. Let me take my glasses off. They pinpointed basically just the Chris Brown and Trey Songz. So let's start with Trey. So, and before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video so other people can find my content. And if you're just too lazy to go ahead and just share, girl, just hit the like. And subscribe if you want to be part of the realest community on YouTube and Twitch. Okay? All right. So, Tasha K started off, getting right into it as we're going to get into it. Okay? She says, she didn't say, who said it? Ariel says that victim number one is Jahara, who was recently I believe a Jane Doe, and that decided later on, hey, why am I feeling shame? Why am I feeling guilt? Why am I hiding? And decided to come out with her name recently. But she had this case. This case with her, I think, took place like 8 years ago. And I know some of you guys are thinking like, well, why did she just now coming forward? I'm going to get into it as I get into it, because there was she did have a legal representation that kind of like dropped the bag, so to speak, and Ariel came in and took over, and now it's been a journey, I guess you could say, 8 years and counting. But like I said, she has three victims, 8 years being the oldest, and 3, I think, years being the most recent. No. 3 years might be the most recent. Don't quote me on it. Let's get into my notes though, shall we? So, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. So, victim Jahara was constantly reaching out to the attorney that did this interview with Tasha K. For 3 months, y'all, she consistently called this woman 2 to 3 times a week throughout the week, allegedly, and was trying to get her to pick up her case, okay? Because she had been getting the runaround from all these other attorneys that wouldn't take the case, and when she did have an attorney that took the case, they fumbled the case. They lost the case and whatnot. So, Jahara claims Trey assaulted her after a New Year's Eve party where she met him that was being thrown by Diddy. After the New Year's Eve party, she was leaving and Chris approached her allegedly and suggested that they go. I mean, not Chris, excuse me, Trey. Ooh, getting the R&B niggas mixed up. But Trey had approached her and they decided to continue to party. Okay. So, attorney Ariel states Trey and his team tries to deflect by moving, like smoke and mirrors, basically. They deflect to bring as much attention from Trey off of him, and they do that by basically discrediting her. Recently, Trey's brother just spoke out against Ariel, discrediting her and her victims and whatnot. So, they do it just so basically, make everybody look the other way when it comes to Trey's assault, and that plays a big part even prior to Ariel stepping on the case. I say it plays a big part if this is true, because it makes sense how somebody can get away with doing this their whole career and have so many women. And the reason why I say throughout their whole career is because if what's her name? If Jahara is the 13th victim, as Ariel stated, Ariel, the attorney, said that Jahara is the 13th victim of Trey that had came forward. Because of course we can't record who don't come forward and tell, but based off of who stepped forward and who's made claims against him legally and tried to pursue a criminal case against him, Jahara was the 13th 8 years ago. Okay, 8 years ago. So let's do the math. So 8 years ago, so 13th victim. Okay, so I think it's safe to say allegedly that he did this his whole career, because 13, 8 years ago, nigga, what number are you on now? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is wild. This is crazy. We're gonna get into it as we get into it, but we got more recent cases. We got more women to go through. You know what I'm saying? It's very messed up. Let me say this, Frank, because I feel like, when as a woman and someone that covers cases like this, when I talk about like black men and then like especially high profile black men like Trey Songz and Chris Brown, it seems like you just like people are jumping on the bandwagon of wanting to discredit and like talk down and like talk about the bad and the rumors. Let me tell you something. I do not like rumors. I do not like participating in bringing down anybody's life and destroying anybody's life. Okay, but stories like this is near and dear to my heart. I almost feel like I have a calling for it. So it's kind of like I can't ignore it. If a woman, multiple women throughout the years, and if this is not your first time here, this is not the first time I've ever talked about Trey Songz and these claims. Like, that's why I'm not going to really go too much on what I know, what I've discussed in prior videos. We're going to strictly talk about what took place on this Tasha K interview with the attorney. But, like, I can't not report and talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a heinous act. Yeah, we're going to get into it. So, where I'm at. So, 13th victim, 8 years ago, whatever. Not whatever, but like, I'm past that note. Like, we got more to talk about. We got more women to get through. That's Jahara, right? So, Jahara's story, I don't think we got any really context clues other than the New Year's Eve party and that she was forced to have, sexual relations with him. But there are three. The attorney is representing 3 women from different states that take place in Georgia. The New Year's Eve party with Jahara after that was thrown by Diddy, that was in Georgia, in Atlanta. And then you got she has a California case, and then he has a case that we just all recently heard about that was in the Shade Room, if y'all recall, like about a week or so ago, of Nevada. Okay. So 3 different states, 3 clients that just came forward with that Lyric is representing. That's just her clients alone. Okay. So attorney Ariel states that this is common in these type of cases for women to wait so long, hence Bill Cosby and what's the other one that committed suicide and they still got that case going on with the woman Maxine? What's the Jeffrey Epstein? Um, it's very common for women to wait, according to Attorney Ariel, wait many years. That's why they have such statutes on it too, to come forward. You also got to keep in mind that I took notes on this. 'Cause I thought it was very important to share that the attorney said. She said that because let me tell you something about Ariel. Let me tell you, let's. Ariel wasn't playing no games. Ariel gives times, dates of when motions was being filed, when statements was made to TMZ. She didn't have no receipts, but she was very accurate. Of course, being an attorney with the law for one, and two, with just being actual factual with like okay, because Tasha was doing her research right based off of court documents. And of course, being the attorney, she knows what's in these court documents. She's filing the motions and whatnot. And so, in the lawsuits. So, a lot of people, including myself, and a lot of people, when we see these lawsuits come forward in social media, a lot of times, a lot of us say, man, they just want some money. Because why are you going after this person civilly before you go after them criminally? Like, you ain't trying to press charges. You would rather get a check than see him in jail. But a good point I made on my notes that Ariel had made is that in law, the state has to pick up and pursue criminal charges. Okay, that's not something that you or I contradict or we control. That's why, like, let's say me and I ain't gonna say me. Let's say the people down the street, baby daddy, baby mama, get into a physical dispute. Okay, police show up, neighbors call the police show up, and the baby mama decides that she don't want to press, or baby daddy, let's switch roles. Baby daddy decides I don't want to press charges on her, you know what I'm saying? But the police officer sees physical marks and decides, you know what, I'm going to file a police report. And then if the state, like the prosecutor, decides to pick it up, there's nothing baby daddy can do to protect baby mama. This is out of his hands. What's the that video? It's above me, ma'am. It's above me. So if the state decides not to pick up a case, you know what I'm saying? There's that they can't do anything about it, but take the civil route. Okay, they're not picking. I can't do nothing. I can't get you to go to jail. I can't get them to prosecute you and send you to prison where I think you belong. So instead, I'm gonna hit you where it hurts, in your pockets. I gotta make you pay somehow. I don't want you just walking away from this scot free. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they do. They file these civil lawsuits because they're failed, allegedly, by law, by this. That's not even alleged. Like, we could look that up. Like, I know that. Like, I ain't gonna put nobody's business out there, but I know people that been prosecuted on some stuff that maybe, like I said, baby daddy might have was gonna let you off the hook, wasn't gonna press no charges, but the state picked it up and it's above me now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm smiling because I'm actually really happy to be here with y'all. I hate that, under these pretenses. But like I said, this is not my first. I don't know if I've ever talked about Chris Brown. If you're a real one and you watch the lives and this, let me know and remind me if I did Chris Brown or not. I'm not sure if I did Chris Brown, but we for sure, and I mean at least a couple of months ago, did a video and we discussed Trey. Anyways, back to the notes. So, throughout this, I can't say the R word. We're gonna say physical sexual assault, law terms for it, because I do not want to get flagged on this video. But moving on to, I believe it was Dylan Gonzalez out of Nevada whose story this is. If I get the girls mixed up, I'm so sorry. But this one was recently in the blogs, and it was about this woman accusing Trey of forcibly, anally, violently raping her. I just said we wasn't gonna say the R word, and I just said the R word. Sometimes I just want to, like, come on, get it together. Okay, sexually assaulting her. She says that it took place at, what did she say? Some home, right? and she was consent. This is what. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this down for a second. She was consenting to having sex, right? She was gonna do it anyways. They're walking up the stairs. Now, whether or not it was anal sex that she consented to, it was unclear. But I'm pretty sure, based off of how I read it and how it was stated from her attorney, it seemed like she was consenting to having vaginal sex, right? So, or what she assumed to be vaginal sex. So they're walking up the stairs. Everything's smooth. Everything's peachy. They get. They about to get. They somebody rocking, knocking. That's she knows what she thinks is going to take place once she gets upstairs. She claims that once she goes into a bedroom, as soon as she walks into a bedroom, she's walking in. I'm presuming first, based off of what she details happens next. Trace allegedly is walking behind her, and as soon as she goes into the room, lock the door, and pushes her down, uses his weight and forces her down onto the ground. Not no bed, not what I'm saying. She said that it was almost as if like a demonic crazed man, like the demeanor completely changes. You went from we talking, we having a small conversation, it's cool, and then when we get into this room, he's a monster, and he's like forcing me on the ground, face down on the ground, and he's shoving his into my anus. And she's like, she tried to find out why she couldn't do so. She's being raped. I'm y'all. The day I actually get monetized, the day I actually make money from the content I push out, I'm gonna cry tears of joy, because it's been a long road, and it's gonna be an even longer road if I cannot get it together with my choice of words. It's not that I'm not using the correct term in terms of what took place, because that's exactly what it is. I actually am one of the people that I don't like when people sugarcoat something like this by saying sometimes sexual assault, physical assaulted, because I feel like that takes away from sometimes in our reality with Instagram and like TikTok and our visual and like hearing things, how we hear things sometimes. You need that blunt. This is what he did. Okay? But for the sake of monetization, for the sake of terms and conditions, and you know what I'm saying, I need to watch that word saying that on here. Okay, so all right, let's start back up again. Okay. So she claims that someone walked in the room as this was taking place, that she doesn't know who it was because she couldn't see, being that she was pinned down, face down into the car. Now I'm putting details. I don't even know. The carpet, I don't know. Carpet, hardwood, whatever. Tile, and that once they had walked in and they turned around and walked back out, that Trey, might have lost his footing, as so to speak, as far as like stopping or being distracted or chilling out some, to the point where she was able to then get up, allegedly, and take off running back downstairs, out the door, calls an Uber. She's in the car with the Uber, disheveled, as you can imagine, is someone being taken violently, anally. You know what I'm saying? And the Uber driver asks, hey, I know this says this is where you want to go, but can I reroute you and take you to the hospital? She agrees. They go to the hospital. Here we are. So, that's just so heinous. Like, that's, y'all, first of all, when I had saw it on the blogs, I don't even follow a lot of blogs anymore. I actually have unfollowed a lot of blogs, but every now and then I will get stuff on my Explore page. And when I had saw it, I didn't even want to go into details and reading the article, because I had already been saying and have known, and I knew how many different women it was, and it was just kind of like another again. Shout out to John Legend. It was like what, so I just had bypassed it. But when I'm listening to it during this interview tonight, I'm just like, this is jacked up. Like, this is jacked up. I'm a very empathetic person. I'm not the type of person that has to necessarily go through things to feel for people. You know what I'm saying? That's why my heart's so big. That's why I am the way I am. Because it's just like, I was like, dang, like, I could only imagine how painful and scary and just the shame and the the anger, like all the that you will go through, the brokenness, like again, the pain, the physical pain from that, like whoa. Anyways, uh, a lot of people speak out. A lot of people don't speak up and speak out after being sexually assaulted, because like I was naming, shame, fear, depression. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people blame themselves. Um, Ariel was stating that how she somewhat got her footing into doing what she does is because she grew up around her grandmother who was sexually assaulted, and just seeing how much she blamed herself. You know what I'm saying? It even though she hadn't had been sexually assaulted, she grows up and now she's, look at where she's at. She's an attorney that's defending five different women for sexual assault. And I feel like that's a calling, like that's like a real armor of strength to really put on and do. And it takes, that's a calling really, like, you know what I'm saying, because you got to think, Jahara had pushed this woman, blow her phone up for 3 months consistently just to pick up her case. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't even just on it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, some people pick up stuff, some attorneys would have, I should say, picked up this case based off of who it was from, and a lot of attorneys will not pick up the case based off of who it is. You know what I'm saying? She's, I'm sure, not being paid top dollar, or even up front for something like this. You know what I'm saying? It's probably, what's it called, pro bueno, something like that, when you basically, the attorney gets paid when you win. So she's probably working, like, doing that with these young ladies. And I think that when we first heard about attorneys, females in particular, taking on cases of victims or women alleging being, having some type of discord, disdain with a man that's in the public eye, like Lisa Bloom, we assume the least of the attorney. Like, we almost kind of, like, in our society, discredit the attorney. You know what I'm saying? Because of the type of cases that she's picking up. But as I sat here and I watched the interview with Ariel, I actually had, like Ariel, under the pretenses that she is legally working for victims, as she claims. You know what I'm saying? Under the pretenses that these are victims, and that she knows that of them to be victims, then I'm with her. Like, shout out to FNC Mind. He or she just followed. Welcome. So yeah, it was like, okay, that, because you gotta understand, for me, I like law. I want to get into law, right? And when I saw the interview, I kind of was thinking, like, what do I think about an attorney doing an interview with Tasha K? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was almost like, you know what I mean? Like, almost already going to discredit her just off of that alone. Like, I was thinking, and I'm saying this, I still question her reasoning behind choosing to do the interview. I genuinely want to know. Like, thank you. I genuinely, like, want to know the reasoning behind why she decided that this would have been best for herself and her client to go and do the interview. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get back into the notes. So let's move on to Chris Brown, because like I said, she's also defending two victims that have accused Chris Brown of sexual assault. Now, one woman is like accusing Chris Brown of being like Bill Cosby, and if you don't know Bill Cosby, you know what I'm saying, Bill Cosby's victims allege that he had drugged their drinks. You know what I'm saying? This woman alleges that Chris Brown had did the same thing, that he had drugged her drink because she drank her first drink with him. She's on to the second one, and as she didn't even get to finish the second one, allegedly, and she blacks out. Following the next day after blacking out, she receives a text message allegedly from Chris Brown stating to, hey, I slipped up last night. I didn't mean to, basically, jizz in you. Take a plan B, go get a plan B, whatever. And she does. Not really being clear on what took place the night before, but, you know what I'm saying, maybe she had the intention of being okay with sleeping with him. Maybe she don't. Have y'all ever blacked out from alcohol before? How do you know that you blacked out indeed from drinking too much alcohol versus maybe potentially being drugged? That can get kind of tricky, you know what I'm saying? Especially, you know what I'm saying, you don't know. And so if you have someone that kind of responds to you the next day and you don't really recall what happened, and then they text you and they're like, hey, I didn't, I got, carried away last night. I didn't mean to do that. Go ahead, can you go ahead and take a plan B? And she's like, I don't remember doing. Well, we did this, and then but yeah, I'm going to take. But she didn't even really like. She had questions, but in her mind, she didn't automatically go to Chris drugged me, and then took me. She didn't even process it like immediately. So she goes on allegedly to go see this man two other times. I'm not sure if it was during the second visit or after the second visit where she decided, you know what, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to mess with you. Like, I'm cool. And according to Ariel, the attorney, she claims her victim claims that Chris turns into this almost like a madman, like a psycho, like someone that's entitled to being told yes all the time. So when you saying no, who are you? Like basically got to puff in his chest about it. You know what I'm saying? When she wanted to end things after already being assaulted allegedly, and then going on to see the person two more times. Now some of y'all are gonna say, right? Why would she go and see this man again after being assaulted? Well, for one, she wasn't clear that she was assaulted the first time, being drugged and assaulted. She wasn't clear. Two, I have many, and they mentioned this in an interview, many victims do this. Many victims tend to come back around and their abuser. Hence, Ariel is a Curry. You know what I'm saying? All those women with R. Kelly, they continue to be abused multiple times because sometimes you don't even process it as that, and a lot of times your abuser, because they got over on you once, they're gonna go ahead and get over on you again until you kind of wake up and spill the coffee and be like, you know what, you off, something's not right, or you know what I'm saying, like I'm starting to talk to other women and discover that I don't know what it was that made her go off in her head and say, you know what, this is what took place this night. He's not gonna fool me. I'm not gonna be around him anymore. So the second woman, we didn't really get many details about her, but this story was on also a big blog site, the Shade Room, not that long ago. This was probably I don't recall because I don't follow them. This was recent. You guys can actually go look this up. The second woman, the second victim, also claims to have met Chris Brown the same day as the other victim I just told y'all about. The same day, at the same party. Who threw the party, you might ask, for those that just now coming into the room? Diddy. Not Diddy, not the same party, the New Year's Eve party that the Trey Songz girl had met Trey Songz and got victimized, Jahara, Jane Doe. This is a different party. This is a yacht party that Diddy had threw that I had mentioned to y'all earlier for the first victim. She also met him there. Now, I'm not saying that her assault took place at the same place as the first victim. I'm saying they both met him at that day. And they didn't realize and didn't even know that they didn't even know each other. Didn't even know they both got Chris Brown's number. But both didn't even know of each other until later on when they got this attorney, and then the attorney's putting facts together, and then y'all both got pictures on the same day at the same party and got the same type of story against the same person. It just is wow. Okay, explosives. This interview was explosive. Okay, so she goes on to say that she was assaulted there. Now, they didn't go into detail on the interview, but based off the blog that I had read, she claims that she was sexually assaulted by Chris Brown on that boat. That he had basically forced her into a room, onto a bed, and took it from her. This is a party, I'm assuming, preferably assuming, with a lot of people moving around, a lot of people, you know what I mean, there and around. And it's just crazy that the victim, the Trey Songz victim, I believe that was, I'm not sure if it was Dylan or not, but the one that took place in the house where she was anally raped. I'm about to get up off this thing. Because I'm about ready to slap these lips. I'm about ready to knock them off my face. Okay, listen. It's wild to me that they both, no, it's not wild. It's wild. It's wild that they both had to happen to have, you know what I mean, people, witnesses. Listen, let's say you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't hear no screaming. You don't hear screaming. You're not concerned when you hear yelling and stuff and whatnot, and then a woman appears disheveled. You know what I'm saying? Like hair messed up, mascara running. Like if I cry, y'all gonna be able to tell. If I cry before I start this live and then I get on this live and I say nothing to you at all about the fact that I was just crying, you're going to be able to tell that I was crying. It's going to be apparent on my face. You know what I'm saying? So it's just wild to me that these both, at least these two incidents, separate people, separate women, separate occasions, are happening at these parties where people are around. But I'm saying, when I say wild, I don't mean by surprising. When I say wild, I don't mean surprising. Because let me tell you something. A little story time before we get up off this thing. Give you a little story time about little Prissy, young Prissy. Okay, I am a child number 5 out of a family of 7. I have 3 older brothers. Okay, back in my day, I'm a 90s baby. We went to a lot of house parties. House parties was big. I had a best friend in junior high school, and her sister and her threw a house party. My best friend's older sister was dating my older brother. Okay, so my older brother came with me to this house party. Usually my brothers and me don't party together and whatnot, but my older brother had came because he was dating a big sister. Okay, you know, we got the lights off. It's a house party. Lights off, music going, you know what I'm saying? And I had ducked off, you know, to, I believe I was in the corner. Not really sure if I was in the corner or not, but I think I was in the corner. And, you know, I'm fly, I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? So, naturally, some guys that came and talked to me. I think it was one dude, whatever. We're talking in the corner. My older brother, okay, comes through on 10, snatches me up from this corner in this house party. Okay, what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but maybe, it wasn't like a popping house party. It was very small and intimate, and it was not a lot of people. Okay, he snatches me up from this corner and whatnot with talking to this guy, and he's basically making a scene. So we go outside, and naturally, you know, the homeowner, my best friend's mom, my best friend, and my best friend's sister, they're all coming outside and like, what's going on? And me and him are out there arguing because, bro, you are a cock blocker, you are a hater, and you are embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? This is embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? I was very embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? Because he was doing the most. And my brother's point, and that he was driving home and that he was yelling to the roosters came on. He was basically saying, like, you know, like, anything can happen at a party. It's dark, the music is loud, you're in this corner with this guy. If he decided he wanted to sexually assault you, basically, what was you gonna do? Like, who was gonna know? Who was gonna be able to help you? You know what I'm saying? You're putting yourself in a bad position. And in my head, you know, I'm younger, so I'm just like, you're doing the most, you're doing too much, you're a cock blocker, you're hating, you know what I mean? Like, you're being absurd. Like, how I'm going to get, I'm going to get the R right here in front of everybody at this party. Like, come on, you're doing the most, bro. That's how I felt at the time, right? But sitting here as an adult, many moons later, 10 plus years later, I could say I understand what he was saying. Like, definitely an assault can take place in a room full of people. Granted, we were physically in a room, you know what I'm saying? But and these women were behind closed doors and whatnot, more vulnerable. Key, I understand. But you know what I'm saying? When you got people partying, and let's take away that. Let's take away that. Just in the world that we live in today, with the whole mind your business, a lot of people lack, and I say this a lot, whether it be because of the whole I'm mind my business ain't got nothing to do with me, or because of fear. A lot of people don't. A lot of people lack what I call courage, and a lot of people lack what I call empathy. So, you know, you have a lot of people that even though something might not be right, it don't seem right, it's off and whatnot. They don't want to be the only one to say something. They don't have the courage to be the one to be like, this high power rich celebrity whose house we're probably at, who probably bought all the drugs and the drink, and whose people we down, who I work for or whatnot, is up on some BS. I hear yelling. I hear crying. I hear something's going on. This didn't nobody come forward but the woman. So y'all mean to tell me somebody saw her leave down the stairs possibly and out the door? Whether she had blood coming from her damn pants, skirt, or whatnot, I don't know. But like I said, some things are apparent, but a lot of people are not going to say nothing. We're in a day and age where World Star is not really big anymore, but that's when it really started. Where people will, and I tell my kids this all the time, never count on anybody to come to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. People will, even if they have a disdain for it, don't like it, think it ain't right, not speak up, not say nothing, not because they don't want to be the one to be the only one. If everybody else gonna be quiet, anybody else gonna say nothing? Well, shit, I ain't gonna say nothing either, because I mean, I ain't ready to go yet. I don't even know her. He paying for this for me. That's my job. You know, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So it actually reminds me a lot of, who remembers the Kanika Jenkins case, when everybody was on the best friend's head and thought that she was had something to do with it, and she was being quiet, and she allowed the guys to, you know what, right in front in the room, and it was like, what the heck is people around? What the heck? Like, how that happened? She was in the bathroom, but granted, y'all know what's going on in the bathroom. Like, you remember that? Y'all remember that? Y'all know I don't forget nothing, so. That's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it reminds me of. So when I say it's wild, it's not surprising wild. It's wild and like, this is so sad. This is so disheartening. This is where we at with it. We're now also in a cancel culture. We're in a cancel culture, Me Too, women empowerment type of time. It's a very different time. I always heard this growing up. It's different times. Times is different. Things has changed. And boy, oh boy, like, yeah. And a lot of different aspects, including how I think this case is going to be handled. It can go, y'all, it could really, both cases, 5 cases, excuse me, how each of these cases is going to be handled. I feel like it can go up or down, you know? How do y'all think it's going to end? How do y'all think, what do y'all think should happen? And what do you think the end result is going to be? Will justice be served? Are these women being honest? Is this just black women trying to tear down these black men and ruin these black men's careers? Because attorney, if that is what you say, would you feel different if all the victims weren't black women? Just a little food for thought. I want to know what y'all think. Y'all already know what I think. I ain't even got to say it, okay? If this is your first time here, you might want to catch up on some other shit. I don't even got to say where I stand. Y'all already know where I stand. And the good thing, let me tell y'all something about me. I said this in my last video when I talked about it, so I'm not going to go too much in detail. But one thing I am grateful, and I'm going to sing it, the praises to the sky. I'm grateful that I have always been I've always been different and separated from the world. I've always told not to be of the world. And it had used to have these effects that, you know, you be the all ball out. Hence why I'm the unpopular badass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not of the world, unpopular badass. Hence why we ain't got that many views on here. Because, you know, I'm not really out there. However, because I don't have those attachments, worldly attachments, I don't have those worldly attachments to people either. So I don't go into hearing about these stories and it's about celebrities and feel moved. Um, I don't feel, I'm not a fan of anybody. So I come into it with a third eye. I come into it with a clear mind, just a different, a bird's eye view, so to speak, because I don't have pre notions of feeling like. Because let me tell you something. Do I listen to both these men and their music? You dang Skippy. You dang Skippy. I definitely can lay out a catalog for both. You know what I'm saying? As far as music, I'm a very big on music. I love music, okay? But I'm not worldly, and I'm not attached to worldly things or worldly people. So when stuff like this happens, unfortunately, when cases like this happen, I don't take a, I'm not on I'm not on the defense. I'm not team out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming into it just with the pre-notion of, oh, they lying on Chris. He would never. That's the best R&B singer alive. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't have that. Oh, Trey, his third leg is so, oh, I just wanna, oh, he ain't gotta take it from nobody. You know how many women are just willing to give it to him? Have you seen his OnlyFans? I don't have those pre-notions and feelings or attachments, or, you know what I'm saying? Or even in a negative way, to where like it's like I'm automatically on the victim side. I'm automatically listening to what Ariel, the attorney, has to say and her victims. Automatically, I take what you say for what it is, because I'm so for women. I'm for women, love women, but I'm for people. Just like the attorney had said, and I loved it. I loved it. She said, "I'm for victims. I work for the victims." So she had also had covered, just a little fun fact before I get up out of here. She had covered because I don't know how to say the rapper's name. I'm gonna tell you who he is, and y'all gonna catch on to, like, you know what I'm talking about. They need to be held accountable for their actions, says Dirty P85. Thank you for watching. Okay, so do y'all remember just recently there was a case where a young lady was coming forward for her son. Her son was like 3 years old, and she was claiming that this rapper, I never heard of the rapper, but I'm gonna tell you who he signed with. The rappers had allegedly that she was dating. She says that her son came and told her that he stuck nails, like hammer nails, up his anus. Do y'all recall that? It was really like big in the blogs and whatnot. Well, he signed to Lil Durk's record label, and Ariel, the attorney that did this interview tonight, represents, I guess, all the artists underneath Lil Durk's record label, which I didn't even know he had a record label. That's what's up. Anyways, I think his name is Duty Lo. Y'all gonna laugh because I don't know it. But anyways, she represents him, and I think that case was just recently dropped, or she was proved to have been lying. Tasha K also did an interview with that mom too, that mom that came forward. Then she just recently came forward and said like her son told her a lie and whatnot. That's great. But anyways, the attorney represented him. So sometimes people will be like, well, now you on this side, and now you a flip flopper, you on this side. No, it's like I'm on the side of what's right. I'm on the side of protecting these victims. If you've been done wrong, you've been victimized, I got your back. That's how I feel. That's how I am with this stuff. I don't have any, you know what I'm saying, I can go either way. I'm on the, not gonna say I can go either way. I'm on the right side. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the right side. So I'm just so grateful that I'm like that, because there is so many people, and you'll find out by reading the comments. All you have to do is get underneath the comment section of posts like this, and you will see where people stand. People pick a side quickly, and that's okay. You know, if y'all ain't new here, y'all know I always say pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. Pick a side. Don't be on the fence. You're going to either, but I'm on the side of victims because, like I said, stuff like this, regardless of who it is, regardless of what their skin color, if it was boys, if whoever, I take it I just take it like, almost to the heart with cases like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being someone who's also has been in a situation where, we ain't gonna talk about it too much here, but I do story times about my past and just knowing how that is. it's just, my heart goes out to stuff like this. And that's why it was very important for me to come and do this live stream. Thank you so much, Dirty P85. He has gifted me a sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm about to get out of here. Before I go, please make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. I will be back tomorrow because we don't have time to go over the subjects that I had for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be discussing daddy issues. Why are women blamed for daddy issues instead of the absentee father? Let's talk about it. Also, tomorrow we're going to talk about, I'm going to give y'all one more. I usually don't give y'all spoilers, but I want to make sure y'all run y'all. I want to make sure y'all don't come back. I'm going to make sure y'all run back to my channel tomorrow. So, is it a big deal if your partner posts you on social media? Let's talk about it. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my content. And make sure you hit the thumbs up video if you enjoyed the video. Even if you did not enjoy the video, you have a difference of opinion of me, that's fine. We grown. Hit that thumbs up video, babe. I need it. Okay. Sylvia's Vision says that number one, attorney Ariel stuttered when said okay, that shows her body couldn't lie, yet what came out of her mouth was wanting money for this opportunity. Okay, so we have a difference of opinion. As I always say, it's really fine. I'm glad that we got somebody in the comment section that seems to have also watched the interview. They also said number two, Ariel Mitchell kind of bragging that she likes to put people in defamations as it is a cool thing. I don't think she was bragging and saying that it was a cool thing. She's an attorney, so she made a comment about Trey Songz' brother basically defaming her. And if y'all don't know, defamation is a cause for a lawsuit. And she was basically saying, like, I don't play about, like, I'm quick to go ahead and file a lawsuit. I mean, is that really surprising, Sylvia? She is an attorney. But they said, well, after watching this video, they can sue Ariel for defamation and more. They can only sue defamation. They can only sue Ariel for defamation if it is not true. I don't think as an attorney, gotta go. I really gotta get up out of here though, because I got things to do. It's